Hey there guys, it's time for another adventure, so I'll go ahead and just show you what it is that we're going to play here. So if you're not familiar with this, this is NHL 94 but modified, edited, and this is going to be the 2026 version of NHL 94. So we're going to go ahead and go for it. We're going to put this on auto control. You can do 5, 7, 10, and so on and so forth. I think most people like to do 7. We want to do penalties on except offsides. We want to do line change it over to auto, and we do want fighting on. And we probably want it to be in arcade mode, and we'll see if we can figure out exactly what the difference is with that. So we're going to sort of try this out. I tested this for like a couple minutes, maybe like 2 minutes before starting this, just to make sure it worked. It's because over on the forum, the NHL 94 forum, there were people who were reporting that this game wasn't displaying right if it wasn't in widescreen mode. So this is the non-widescreen edition, and as you can see, it's showing pretty well here. This is a much harder version of NHL 94 in that it's been modified to basically be harder. So we'll see how this goes. This is my first time really playing through it. Now my big question for you is that in terms of an NHL 94 save, do you want to see the original or do you want to see something like this? Well, what would you rather see me do? What would you rather see come up? So they're going to have another penalty. Interesting. So there you have it so far. Pretty quiet beginning to this one. It's going to take me a little while to get used to playing this after playing all that 3D stuff. And of course I didn't... Oh my gosh. So Winnipeg charged for their third penalty here early on. Yeah, as you know, I didn't put a gameplay video together yesterday. The reason why is not because I didn't want to or because I had a long-form video come out or whatever. It's actually because we were kind of busy that day. We had a bunch of Chinese New Year stuff to do and stuff like that. So instead of messing around with stuff like this, I had to like go and actually be social and do in real life type things. So there you have it. And I know it's shocking, but you know, I am a real person who actually does like real things in life, aside from making a whole bunch of nonsense on YouTube and trying to make it work. So there you have it. And we score a goal. Strome. Now, I'm going to be very, very embarrassed here in the early going, especially if we do a save with this, because I'm woefully ignorant of who's playing in the league right now. It's been a little while since I've even remotely been into hockey, and it's probably a good excuse for me to start like getting deep into it, right? So look for something like that coming in the future, at least if you guys want it. I don't know though that this version of this game actually has like league play capability. We might be sort of stuck with you know, playoff mode or something like that. Although I have heard a rumor, I think it was from Discord, that somebody might be trying to work on making it so that this game can handle league play as well. Basically, I think what they're doing is I think they're kind of like doing a little hack of some of the other versions of EA's NHL games and making it so that they can combine them together. So that makes it 2-0 for us, so we're doing all right. Yeah, you know me, it's all about doing these long-term projects and stuff, and also what I really want to do here is I want to kind of showcase a lot of, you know, the things that people are doing that you may or may not know about. So we'll go ahead and do that. We could technically do a full season and like just play the games like individually. I'd much rather actually have an actual league mode, although the early league modes in not just NHL games, in EA Sports games were mostly like basically playing a bunch of exhibitions. I mean, that's basically the way that it works. I know that because over on my football channel I've been playing Madden 94, and like in Madden 94 it doesn't even keep track of your stats. Like you would have to do all of that by hand if you really wanted to. All it does is it tells you the standings, and that's it. One of the problems with EA Sports back in those days, they didn't do a very good job of like thinking about what it is that their players would actually want to have, and you know what sports fans tend to like to see and stuff like that. Man, it feels so nice to be able to do those one-timers. Compared to NHLPA 93, this game is golden. Anyway, so that's what we got going on here. The latest video, of course, on the Miracle on Ice has had some very, very positive feedback, so thank you for all of you who have offered good and positive feedback. There was at least one person who was a little disappointed that it wasn't like a bunch of trivia about the Miracle on Ice. So I still stand by, you know, my choice of a title. I think that it's better seen as sort of like the context around, you know, what was happening and stuff like that. But at least one person was disappointed with it, so that's going to happen. Welcome to YouTube land and stuff. My biggest disappointment with it is that it hasn't had more views than than it has. It has about 400 something right now. I was kind of hoping for something maybe a little bit more than that. That was an interesting bounce of the puck, by the way. That looks like they caught the goalie a little off guard there. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. We'll probably do more videos sort of like that as time goes on. And so, as always, like, let me know what you think. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Boy, they've been called for another penalty here. I'm not even sure what happened, but anyway, we just got it waved off. And it was OV. Three 0. That's a pretty good first period for us, if I do say so myself. I've noticed, by the way, that it's scrolling through games down here a lot faster than it does otherwise. So if we were to do like a playoff thing or something here, it would probably go by a little bit faster, maybe be a little bit better. Then again, that might have been because we were playing the Super Nintendo version of NHLPA 93 last time, so maybe that's the reason why, I don't know. There's none of that great defending by me. Don't you love it where, you know, our way of defending is to get out of the guy's way? That's all good. The best way to get better at these games is to just play them. That's what we're going to do here. Yeah, we've been called for interference. So here we go. Penalty killing time. Once again. We're actually pretty good here at killing penalties. There we go, that's a little bit better. Must have been a line change or something like that. Close. Alright, well, what we haven't seen yet is we haven't quite seen any fighting yet. That's the new big thing right in the community. Everybody's got to go back and remake all the old seasons and stick fighting in it now that they've got that code figured out. There we go. So I think the biggest question that I've got to ask all of you guys is this truly your favorite version of this game, or is there a version you like better? I know that there are some people who actually like, you know, NHL 95, 96 and stuff like that a little bit better than this one. Though NHL 94 tends to be the most famous of them. I do think that the reason, whoops, I wasn't expecting to get the puck there. I do think, though, that the reason why this tends to be everyone's favorite version is largely because it was very, very well known, kind of notorious way back when it came out. in 1993, right? And so because it was so well known, and I think part of that has to do too with sort of like the growth of the Sega Genesis at that time, because it tends to be really well known, like, we didn't even get to see that one. But because this tends to be really well known because of, you know, its impact on like the early years of the Genesis and stuff like that, like I really do think that that is the reason why, you know, this game wound up getting the reputation that it wound up getting. There we go. All right, here we go again. That wraparound's probably a little bit too easy. I don't know. Is there a way to turn the difficulty up a little bit or something? You know, what's going on here? Maybe playing with the capitals is just not the right thing to do. Four to one now. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and stick with it and see what we can do. See if we can't get this up a little bit better. I'm thinking about maybe spending a little bit more time, too, playing with some more of these, you know, sort of later system versions of these games and stuff like that. It sort of depends upon, you know, what everybody wants to see and all of that. What I've done with some of the other channels is I've kind of alternated between doing like a project or something like that and doing a project and then sort of doing some exploratory playing and stuff. So I will probably see something similar to that happen here. Of course, there are some channels where I need to get back to more exploratory playing. We haven't done quite enough of it yet. And so, you know, I mean, the original reason for doing this really is to come up with a lot of sort of B-roll for, you know, videos on some of these video games and stuff like that. So that's really what I think the goal is in the end. But you know, I'll have some fun with it. I think the next video I do is probably going to be talking about the Super Nintendo version of NHLPA 93. And then after that, I'll probably do some sort of video about, like, NHL 94 modding or whatever. I don't know. We'll come up with something. Anyway, at this point in time, I think that we're going to win this game. What I really want to do is I want to try to see if I can trigger a fight. There we go. Man, that's a brutal cross-check. So I'm assuming that most of you guys have been watching Olympic hockey. Actually, I haven't been watching that much of it. I've downloaded quite a few of the games, but I haven't had the time quite yet to watch it. And besides, who wants to spend time watching it when you can, you know, play it in a video game like this, right? Oh, going the wrong way. Alright, we probably have to play for real now, huh? Oh, we were fortunate there. Ooh, close, close, close. We're getting there. There we go. Oh, man. Jonathan Tays. All right. Here we go. All right. Now we gotta be serious here, right? Or maybe not. Maybe we'll just let them do that. Here we go again. Alright, you can tell this is a pretty intense game as I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to score. Oh, and we did it! Well, that wasn't pretty. Do they still have the rule where you can't have like a skate in the crease for the goal to count or something? I'm not sure if that one should have counted. Maybe that was just one of those NHL 94 things. There we go. Oh, fighting in this game is a little bit more responsive, too. So we got what we wanted. We got the fight. We actually won it for a change. Usually I end up losing those. Well, that means the fans will go home happy. Always go home happy after a fight breaks out in your soccer game, or in your hockey game. Even better if it breaks out in your soccer game. There we go. We set that one up. That was pretty easy to see. All right, just a little bit more. They went empty net, huh? Okay. We'll take it. I'm not sure that had the effect that they wanted since we won the face-off. All right, there you go. So we win. Kyle Connor did he have a hat trick or something like that? I wasn't paying so much attention to the Winnipeg scores. Anyway, we'll take a quick look here at the game stats so we have an idea. Man, we have 46 shots on goal and 20 power play shots. See, that's what did it. It was all those penalties that they had early on. That I think is what did it. Our passing's pretty bad, but we had it in the attack zone a lot. Really cool. It was a great game. This really is a great game. You get so much information and all of this stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, so yeah, let's see what else is going to show me here. And that's going to be it. And we just go to exit game. And there you go. We're done. So there you have it. Let me know what you think about potentially doing like some sort of, should I do like a project with this version? Should I do one with NHL 94? Should I like go play like the Super Nintendo version of NHL 94 and the Sega CD version? Like, you know, kind of what do you want to see? And we'll have that alternating with a whole bunch of other games. Somebody wants me to play the Nagano Olympics. What is it? Olympics 98 on the N64, which is a game that had really bad reviews. So let's go take a look at that one. And we'll kind of go from there. I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye.